Welcome to video number 20 in the series Fear, Anxiety, Stress, Triumph with Benjamin Halpern. If you'd like to watch all the previous videos of this series, as well as other series that I'm running, please visit my YouTube channel, which is FAST, which stands for Fear, Anxiety, Stress, Triumph with Benjamin Halpern. And if you subscribe to that channel, you will receive updates every single time I post a new video. Today we're going to be talking about a skill and a tool that one of my clients shared with me. I asked my client the question, what do you find works best for you in overcoming your anxiety, fear, panic, and stress? What he shared with me is what he called focusing on the worst case scenario. See, most of the things that we're concerned about, we're worried about, we're really stressed out by the open-ended question a lot more than the final end product. Let's assume we're concerned if somebody's going to like us. It doesn't really make such a big difference because ultimately, what do they say? A third of the world will like me, a third of the world will hate me, and a third of the world won't care. And that doesn't change in any scenario. So I have to deal with a certain amount of people in the world that don't like me anyways. So ultimately, if I'm concerned of somebody not liking me, I can live with that. Not everybody has to like for me to live the life that I desire and deserve. Nevertheless, the question of whether they like me or not is very, very painful. I'll share with you something personal in my life. Many years ago, my father was diagnosed with a neurodegenerative illness, which ultimately led him to passing away 5 years later, which was about 3 years ago. And after he passed away, in the period of mourning, at that time, a world-renowned psychiatrist who was supervising me called me, and this is what he said. I pick up the phone and he says, Ben, if you're feeling like relieved and peaceful, it's normal. And that was it. He hung up the phone. At that time, it was pretty awkward and I was surprised by his comment. But in retrospect, looking back, I recognized there were 5 years of turmoil, constantly checking my phone and the phone ringing at night, and ambulance calls, and running to the hospital, that really that open-ended question, despite the fact that the day my father was diagnosed, I knew that it was a matter of time before he would pass away from his illness. Nevertheless, the open-ended question of when or what the next step is going to be caused an enormous amount of distress. However, when it was over, despite the fact that that was the worst case scenario, there was a certain peace and restfulness and calmness in the fact that there was no open-ended question. And that's in a big lifetime event. But that same thing applies to anything that I'm concerned about. At whatever the end is, my brain will accommodate. So if I can focus on the worst case scenario and know that no matter what the worst case scenario is, my brain will accommodate to it after a short period of time. It will make it much easier for you to navigate the stage when it's open-ended, because that will set your brain up that at the end of the day, no matter what the outcome is, I can deal with it, and in a short period of time, I'll move on. Focusing on that, in this client situation, gives him an enormous amount of relief because the question is not that big that's plaguing his mind in the stage when he's stressed out. Anxiety is the emotion that we have before the scenario happens. But if we can a little bit focus on the end game and the worst case scenario, it will lower our anxiety. True, it might give us a little bit a feeling of maybe sadness, some other emotion, but we're definitely going to get relief from the feeling of anxiety when we put a little bit of our focus towards what we're worried about might happen. That will take the edge off anxiety and give us relief. It's just another tool in your arsenal to overcome anxiety, fear, panic, and stress, which ultimately will help you live the life you desire and deserve. Thanks for watching this video. Looking forward to seeing you on the next one.